All right, go ahead and share my screen and let me know when you guys can see my dashboard here.
Got it. Perfect.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so as you guys know, KVCore is the lead generation program that EXP offers all of its agents. So it's really a website and a CRM and an IDX all rolled into one system. So I went ahead and pulled up just my website right here. As you can see, it's already got the IDX tied to it, which stands for the Internet Data Exchange. That's basically, in simple terms, that's the MLS newsfeed that's going to tie directly into your website. And of course, there's a lot of search engine optimization already in these websites. There is some minimal customization that you can do through KV Core, but they don't recommend that you change it around too much because these sites are designed to work. So your domain name should have already been given to you with your logins, but it's usually your first name, last name.exprealty.com. That's going to be your subdomain with KV Core. So you can use that on all of your marketing, whether it be your business cards, your website, your email signature, signs. You can use that as your site. Now, if you already own a separate domain name, meaning maybe you've gone through a third party service like GoDaddy.com and purchased, for example, MicahSellsHouses.com. I know that's a horrible domain name. You can forward and mask it to this site. You don't have to have the hosting because the hosting is already provided. So essentially, where your website is being housed, but you can forward a name, a domain name to this website. So we do have videos on how to do that. Just let Paige know if you've got any questions and you have a domain name and you want to forward that. That way you can start preparing for all your marketing. So that's on the front end. Now let's look what the back end looks like. This is the actual CRM, the Clients Relations Management System. Just a couple things that I want to note here. If you look over here, they have an agent success plan and a view training calendar. So there are trainings live in EXP World, anything from KV Core one-on-one, KV Core Advanced, and then also KV Core Q&A that I definitely recommend you attend. But you can also watch these at your own leisure. So they have an agent success plan and of course a live training calendar. These are through KV Core itself, so not necessarily EXP. So you have KV Core's training, and then you also have EXP's training, and then there's archive training as well. If you go into Workplace and just search up the group EXP University Library, then you can search KV Core. There's also KV Core Workplace group. So let me show you that real quick. Give me just 1 second. All right, so if I go here and I just type in EXP University Library, you can go here and then just go search within the group. That's the easiest way to find things in these groups is just using the search tool. And it's almost like a digitized library that you can go in and find stuff. But then you also have a bunch of KV Core groups themselves. You can see here KV Core discussion. It's got over 22,000 members. This is also an awesome resource. So you can go and see as you get more acclimated to KV Core and want to see what other people are doing, or maybe you have a question. This is a great resource for you as well. You can also search up, I believe there's other KV Core groups besides just that one. So you can see there's quite a few here. All right, so let's go back to KV Core. So I'm just going to kind of run through this left-hand column here. So if we go to Smart CRM, this is what all of the leads that come through your website are going to go into your Smart CRM. Now, again, this might be from your main website, or what I'm going to show you today is you can be really targeted in your marketing through squeeze pages and landing pages. The fact of the matter is there's a lot of ways to funnel leads into your website. You don't really care how it happens. You want to make sure that they go into your Smart CRM. You can also, as you see, there's add contact button. So you can add your own leads. Maybe you've got past clients or you want to add your sphere of influence. You can add leads in here as well. So let's just click on one as an example. And you can see here, this one has a phone number and an email. They're already set up on a search alert, which I can go and customize that here in this tab. And here, they haven't looked at very many properties, but you can get an overview. Let's say they've looked at 20 properties. KVCore is going to kind of take the average of all those properties and be able to give you a synopsis of what they've been looking at. So, for example, it'll say 3-bed, 2-bath in Oklahoma City around $150,000. That way, you have something to go off of when you do give them a call. So you'll be able to see exactly what property they've looked at and how they got into your system. Also, if you look here under campaigns, once you have created, you have to go in and create them first. Once you have created custom drip campaigns, you can go and add them on a campaign here. So for example, this is one of mine. Now it's going to turn green. That means they're set up on the custom drip campaign where now the system, based on what I've set up already, is going to text and email this lead for me. So it's almost like a virtual assistant working on your behalf, that you can have the system set up to where it's working, outside of you giving them calls as well. And then you've got market reports you can set them up on. And of course, if they're a seller lead, you've got seller reports. Now, outside of the drip campaign, I can also send them text and emails directly from here. So if you see here, I can type in my own message or I can go to canned responses. So you can look through here and I can just click one. And let's say I do like what this one says, that I can click send text and it's going to send it directly to them. Now, one thing to note, it's not sending it from your phone number. It's sending it from, this one actually doesn't have text messages enabled, but you guys get the idea. It's going to send it from a Google Smart number. So every region has their own Google Smart number, but as long as they respond back, it's going to go into your CRM. Again, most leads are going to go directly into your CRM. They don't do the round robin, meaning they don't go to anybody else. The only time they go into somebody else is if the lead misspells something and the system just doesn't know where to kick it back to, basically. So just as I did with the text, I can also do a send email. So I can put in my own message. I can set up my signature in the settings section and I can click template. So just based on whichever template that I like, I can send that to them directly from here. So you can do it more manually, or you can set them up on a custom drip campaign where the system will basically do it for you. Also, you can send, KVCore now has an integration with BombBomb videos. So if you guys are familiar with BombBomb videos, they're basically videos embedded into an email. So you can send them videos directly from here. And if you start lead generating quite a bit, or maybe you're running a team and you want to share leads with other EXP agents internally, you can share or transfer the lead directly from here as well. And you can also add a note. So let's say I talked to this person and I just want to take some notes on our conversation. I can even add my lender and copy the lender as well if I wanted them to see that communication. So that's on the lead side. Let's close this window. All right, so let's go next to listings. So a couple things to notate. You do want to ask your managing broker because every MLS is different. Every state operates a little bit different. But through KVCore, not only can you share your own personal listings, but you can share other listings as well. Kind of the general consensus, if you will, is when you go to share other listings, a lot of the managing brokers allow agents to cross share, meaning if I share Vanessa Johnson's listing right here and she's okay with it, then I'll acquire the buyer leads. And it's actually helpful for her as a listing agent because that's just more visibility on her listing. It's always kind of common courtesy. Check with your broker, see what your local guidelines are. Again, every MLS is different. And then also check with the listing agent and or the seller if you happen to know them and make sure that they're okay. So, I could ask Vanessa and say, hey, I see that you have a lot of listings all the time. Do you mind if I share them through KVCore? And a lot of them mostly will say yes. Now, we want to give them that courtesy call because there are times that sellers will see, their home being advertised through an agent that they don't even know. And it's always great if that listing agent knows what's going on so they can explain to them, hey, not only am I have the ability to, list and market and advertise your home, but, 200 other local agents have the same ability. For example, I always use that as my advantage as a listing agent when I went to go get in a listing to express that I gave other agents the same opportunity. So you can go here. Right now, it's got it under just the agency listings, which of course would just be EXP. You can switch it to all or your own personal listings, but we'll just keep it on EXP here. And let's just say I want to share Rick Terrell's listing. So let's click on it. And again, I would only do this with his permission. We're doing it today just as an example. I can share it a couple different ways. So it's going to generate a specific link based tied to this particular property. And as soon as it pops up here, I'll be able to show that to you. All right. Okay, so this one is probably under contract, so it looks a little bit different, but you can see it's giving me a lead form here. If I were to go and plug in my information, it would go directly into the CRM. So again, that's called the lead capture. That's how you're capturing all their information. So I can send it to a potential client via email. I can also click these three dots. So I want to show you guys something kind of interesting. And if you notice, I'm using Google Chrome, and that's because you can download a Google Chrome extension allowing you to post automatically to Craigslist. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. I clicked post to Craigslist. I don't know if you guys can see my camera right now, but I have my hands in the air. I'm not pressing any buttons. This is what's so nice about downloading the Google Chrome extension is that it pretty much uploads everything for you. So you're not having to go download the pictures and all the information. So it downloaded all the information for me. If you notice, it says, please text Micah to this number. That is the regional Google Smart number that I mentioned. So as long as they spell my name correctly, then it's going to go into my CRM. Now, if they spell it incorrectly, then that might be a whole nother story. But all I would have to do is click publish. And then just like any other Craigslist posting, I could go into my email and confirm, and then it would be published. So with that said, you can see with just a matter of minutes, you can post, 10 listings a day to Craigslist and start generating organic leads. So basically free. There's a lot of ways through KVCore to generate free leads. We're talking about Craigslist, Facebook groups. Now you have to remember, just like any other lead generation, this is going to be a numbers game, right? So I think the average is a 3% conversion rate. So you may need to generate 100 leads in order to turn 3 of them into transaction. But this is also your management system. This is where, not only just new leads, but you can also nurture your current clients and your past clients as well. So mine did not do it because I already have it set up. We do have a video on how to set up the Google Chrome extension because there's several steps that you're going to initially have to set up. You'll click post to Craigslist, and instead of mine automatically populating, what's going to happen on your screen, it's going to first prompt you to download the Google Chrome extension. Once you do that, you want to refresh the page. It's going to ask you to set the URL. The reason why that's so important is because it's going to set which location you're in based on Craigslist. So if I'm posting this in Oklahoma City, I'm going to set the URL to the Oklahoma City location. And then again, refresh your page again, and that should work. But we do have a video that kind of walks you through that process step by step. Also, I can post directly to Facebook. So a couple different options here, and of course I'm not logged in. Here we go. Thank goodness for saved passwords because I wouldn't know what it was. So when you post to Craigslist, you've got Facebook, you've got a couple different options here. You can share directly to your news feed, meaning it's going to go on your personal profile. And when they click on this, it's going to go to the same page that I originally showed you, where it's going to prompt them to plug in their information, and then you capture their information on the back end and they can see more information on the home. I always recommend here put in some kind of call to action, right? You don't want to just go share this. So, wow, check out blah, 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 blah. I mean, you guys get the idea. I don't need to go into it, but look at the home and see what's interesting about the home. What can you put here as a call to action that's going to prompt somebody to click on the photo, then put in their information to get more information about the home. Now, this is not just limited to your personal profile. You can also post it to, let's say, a Facebook group. So if I wanted to do it in, the Edmond garage sale group, I could post it there, or homes for sale group. So I definitely recommend whatever your local market is, you start joining a lot of Facebook groups that allow you to post homes for sale, because then you'll be able to do that directly from here based on whatever you have joined. You can also share to your business page directly from here. So if I click share to page, I do have several business pages, so I can change it to whichever one that I want, and then again, put a call to action. So as I mentioned, they don't have to visit just your main website in order to lead generate, not just mikeandmarawat.exprealty.com. They can be visiting your website through a landing page, a squeeze page, or a different post that you've done here. Now we're going to go to marketing autopilot. This is where you can set up your custom drip campaign. So if you remember when I went to the Smart CRM, we had the list of all the leads that are in my system, and I could set any new lead on a custom drip campaign where the system will text and email them for me. This is where you could do that. So a couple different ways that you can do it is you can create your own. You can click over here and add campaign. I actually do have, I was like, where did my where did my campaigns go? So you can click and add campaign. You can go here to the templates tab and browse templates. So I always recommend, if you're going to go that route, before you create your custom campaign, go into the templates tab, look at all the different templates that are available, from email, text message to a task. Write them down on a piece of paper and kind of map out how you want your custom campaign to look at. So for example, you can have the system text them right away and then email them on day one. Whatever that looks like, kind of schedule it out and write down which campaigns templates that you like. Another way that you can do it is if I go back to the campaign library, you've got system campaigns here as well. And there are some, it's just taking a minute. So I could go in and add these to my library and look what other people are using, and then just go in and customize it based on whatever my personal preference. I do recommend always customizing your campaigns because you want it to sound and talk like you, right? And that's where you're going to get the best conversion. Next, we're going to go to lead engine. So this is where you can create some of the customized marketing that I talked about, a landing page, a squeeze page. So I'm going to click here on landing page and just give you guys an example. All right, this is what your landing page. So I can go in and pretty much customize all of this text. I can also go here and change the template. So maybe I want to do a video. Maybe I'm going to do a video on, let me turn that down here, geared toward, investors, and I want to allow them to download a free foreclosure list. So I could embed a video here, change the text how I wanted to, and then I could upload the YouTube video here. I can also require the phone number, so that way when they do sign up for whatever it is that you're giving away, whether it's a free foreclosure list or you're doing like a first-time home buyer seminar, whatever it may be, then when they put their information, again, that's going to go into your CRM and you're going to lead capture their information. So that's how you can kind of customize a landing page. You can also change the background here. So depending on what kind of style you're doing. Then you can do squeeze pages. So the best way that I can kind of put in perspective what a squeeze page is, when you think of the IDX, when you think of the MLS feed, the MLS feed is all of the houses for sale, right? By all the agents in your area. And a squeeze page is kind of condensing down that information based on the criteria that you put in here. So I'm just going to give you guys an example. If I put Edmond, Oklahoma, and it's just taking a minute to pop up. Click on it. I could very easily even do a price range. So let me say I want to do, 250,000 to 300,000. Let's make it a little more broad. To 350,000. And then I could make it even more narrow if I wanted to do new construction. I could even click all the open houses that are available. That's one of the things that I used to do when I was in production was, generating a link for all the active open houses for the weekend. So instead of people going to the open house, they would go to my site to find all the available open houses. But let's just put just listed, for example. Now, you don't have to be as broad as a city here. You can also put a zip code, you could put a specific neighborhood. So you can really play around with this and be very targeted in your marketing. So again, people aren't just going to your main website, they can go to other links that you're creating as well. If you notice here, I am not building out code or doing anything like that. I am just copying and pasting. I'm not that techie, I promise you. The system built out the link for me. So all I did was a simple copy and paste, and it has built out a live squeeze page based on the information that I put in. So these are all the just listed properties in Edmond, Oklahoma between 200 and 250 and $350,000. So what's going to happen is you advertise this link, prospective buyers, they start clicking around. We'll show you what it looks like. So this is what the landing page looks like on any listing, even any listing that you put into the MLS, as long as you turn on the notifications and allow it to syndicate, you're going to have a landing page that looks pretty similar to this. They start looking through the photos. I'm logged in, so it's not asking me to do it, but once they look through a couple of photos, that's where the forced registration comes up and a form would come up, and that's where you lead capture their phone, their email, their name. Hopefully they put all the information in. You can also do that with a single property. You can do that for a seller squeeze page. So let's just go ahead and do the same thing for Edmond. Generate link. And you can advertise this page as well. So the average price in Edmond is $523,000. What's yours worth? What happens is they put in their address. They'll get kind of a Z estimate, if you will, but then it's going to prompt them to get in touch with you as the professional to give them a more accurate valuation. And on the back end, you're going to receive a notification that they've put in their address and wanting a valuation as well. You can also download market reports here. So let's go back to the lead engine. Now, for those of you that may be using a separate CRM, or maybe you came from another brokerage and you had a separate CRM, you can do a bulk import. So you can add all of your previous leads into the KVCore. You can either do it yourself through some CSV file templates that they have, or you can ask them to do it. So those are kind of your two options here. If I go to Marketplace, KVCore does have some add-ons. I, definitely would get real comfortable with KVCore before you started doing any of their add-ons, but just wanted to let you know what's available. So you can run some Google AdWords. You've got Facebook advertising, Property Boost. I used to use this all the time on my listings, and I would get, anywhere from 20 to 30 pretty solid leads from just any given ad. And then, of course, EXP has their own Making It Rain program, which is essentially the Google AdWords that they'll run for you. Now, there are a cost associated with these and the advertising, but I would get really, really comfortable in lead generating and converting, because you could lead generate all day long, but you've got to practice on your skills on converting and following up. Also here at the top, if you notice, I can have some of my quick actions. You can add a call, add a contact directly from here. You can also mass text and email everyone in your smart CRM. Now, the last thing that I want to show you here is on the upper right-hand corner, if I click under my email, you can go in and edit your information here as well. So you can go to your profile and edit some information. You can also add lenders. Let me move this box. So I would go in and add as much information as you can, add a little bio, a photo, and kind of play around with it. So with that said, that's really the basics of KVCore. Again, I was meant to kind of keep this short and sweet. One thing that I recommend is we do have a video. If you want to switch over your domain name, you can do that. Also, if you want to activate your Craigslist, we have a video that shows you how to do that as well. So got just a couple minutes left here. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions.